So this video tutorial looks at the mathematical stream of data representation and interpretation, and more specifically we're going to focus on range and interquartile range. So for the sake of range and interquartile range, we're once again going to use the statistics of Boston Celtics' first 11 games for the 2013-2014 NBA season. And as we can see, as well as our previous video, we've got the scores for their first 11 games right here. So we're going to use that to determine the range and the interquartile range. So the first thing you need to understand, well, what is the range? Well, essentially the range is basically the difference between the biggest and the smallest values. Alright, so in this particular case, our smallest value is 77, our largest value is 120, so our range is simply going to be 120 take away 77, which is going to give us an answer of 43 points. And it's points in this case because we're looking at basketball scores. Now, you need to have an understanding of what the interquartile range is. Okay, so the interquartile range is not the biggest score, take away the smallest score. Okay, that's just your basic range. The interquartile range is actually the upper quartile, or Q3, take away the lower quartile, or Q1. Now, to understand how to work out Q3 and Q1, the upper quartile is essentially the median value, so the middle value, median value of the upper half of the statistics. The lower quartile is essentially the median value of the lower half. Okay, so the median value of the lower half of the statistics that we're looking at. So, as an example, okay, the IQR, or the interquartile range, is your median value of your upper half, or upper quartile, also known as Q3, take away the median value of the lower half, or the lower quartile, also known as Q1. If we're looking at our set of data here, alright, first thing we need to do is we find the median value. Now, we know the median value is 91 because that happens to be the middle value, and we've already used a previous video to determine that. So we know the median value is 91. Now, if we're trying to work out our Q1 value, our Q1 value is the middle value of the lower half. We don't include our median value unless the median value is actually an average between two values. In this case, it's not. In this case, the median value is 91. It's a specific value, which means that this is our lower half of values, and this is our upper half of values. Now remember that Q1 is essentially the middle value of our lower half, or the median of our lower half. In this particular case, Q1 would be 87. So Q1 is equal to 87 because it's the middle value, or the median value of our lower half of stats. Remember that Q3 is our upper half. So this would be 98. Okay, so our Q3 is equal to 98 because that's the median value of our upper half of statistics. And remember that our interquartile range is equal to Q3 take away Q1. In this particular case, 98 take 87. Therefore, our IQR, I've just run out of room, so I've had to move across, is going to give us 11. Okay, so you're now going to have a go at some practice questions about determining the range and interquartile range of a set of values. So please feel free to pause the video when the question comes up, and once you think you've got it correct, we'll continue on and go through the answers. Okay, so as stated, here's the practice question. Please try and determine the range and interquartile range of the following sets of data. Please feel free to pause the video here. Once you think you've got the right answer, we'll continue on and we'll check Okay, so remember the first thing you need to do with any set of data is you want to put it in numerical order from smallest to largest, which is essentially what we've done here. The range is fairly simple. We know it's our maximum value, take away our minimum value. All right. In this particular case, it's 110, take away 80, which is going to give us an answer or a range of 30 points. Okay, we'll say points because we're talking about basketball values. Now our interquartile range. Okay, remember the first thing with your interquartile range is you need to find the median value. Looking at the set of data here, there's 11 values, and remembering we found our median with the formula of n plus 1 over 2. In this particular case, n equals 11, so 11 plus 1 over 2 gives us our sixth value. Therefore, we can say that the median value is 95. Right? Now remember that the IQR, or the interquartile range, is actually our Q3 value, or our upper quartile, take away our Q1 value, or our lower quartile. Remember the upper quartile is the median value of the upper half. In this case, it's 97. And our Q1 value is the median value of our lower half. In this case, it's 86. And as previously, our answer is going to be an interquartile range of 11. Now the IQR is not always 11, just so happened that with our two examples we ended up with an interquartile range of 11.